This elementary school principal gives her family room and kitchen a failing grade. Which of our designers will come to class with the right materials?
Believe it or not, I don't think I want leather.
You'll find out coming up next.
Welcome to Designer's Challenge. I'm Chris Harrison.
Single mom Heidi DeBritton has raised 2 daughters in her 2-story house.
Now that only one teenager is still at home, Heidi's ready to tackle a complete remodel. She hopes a designer can get her off to a good start in the kitchen and family room. Let's meet our homeowner now.
We moved in back in May of 1980, and it was a real fixer-upper. I was embarrassed to say I lived here because the grass out in front was dead and the paint was crumbling off the walls, and we had to do a lot of work to make the outside even look presentable. We loved the floor plan, then it was big enough to accommodate our extended family when they came for visits. My daughter, who lives with me, is a senior in high school, Samantha, and I also have a daughter, Jennifer, who lives in New York, and she comes to visit frequently. And about a year ago, I decided, well, maybe I would downsize, and so I looked at some smaller homes and really decided that we loved the area and we loved the house and decided that it was time to redo and spruce up and make it new again. And I'm ready to get rid of the 1980 look and go into a new era. Well, this is the family room. It's a nice big space with a lot of white walls that I'd like to have color added to. I'd also like to have some new furniture to house the TV, new windows and new window coverings, and of course the cottage cheese gone off the ceiling. And the fireplace, I'd like that to be a focal point and to have that redone. And in addition, I have a wet bar over here that we'd like to get rid of.
This school principal would like to tuck a writing desk into that space and find a new home for the washer-dryer that's behind it.
The flooring I love, and I'd like to hold on to the flooring, but the rest of the furniture in the room, the sofas, the tables, I'd like to get rid of so that we can have a more contemporary look in the room. One of the things we loved about the home when we purchased it was that the family room flows right into the kitchen. As you can see, the cabinets are white, and we'd like to get those changed to wood tones. And I'm open to suggestions for countertops, new appliances. We'd like to go to stainless steel with the appliances, new lighting, and also we'd like to maintain the floors since they're very functional, and I love the hardwood look. We're interested in keeping the window that looks out in the backyard. This area over here has a hall closet that we're really open to using as an additional pantry or storage space or whatever. We currently have a bar where we eat our meals, but I'm open to a new peninsula or an island, whatever the designer comes up with. I would love, when the room is finished, for it to be a warm, open space that is inviting and friendly and a great place to relax and live every day.
Heidi has set aside $80,000 for labor and materials to renovate her kitchen and family room. Will our experts find a way to update the rooms and make them flow together? Let's meet them now. First up is Adriel Cogdell of Adriel Designs. With over 7 years' experience, Adriel specializes in residential and yacht design.
What I love the most about interior design is the creative problem solving. How is the floor plan? Can they get to the sofa? Can they see the television okay? All of that is part of interior design. The most intriguing part of working on this project is getting this room balanced and centering the focal point into one spot.
Next up is designer Leslie Harris of Leslie Harris Interior Design. Leslie has a background in fine arts and enjoys designing furniture.
The fine arts background certainly is evident in all of my work as far as the way I lay out pieces and my play of color. What I feel makes a room complete is the accessorizing and artwork and proper lighting. I'm really excited about Heidi's project. I want her to feel like she can just kick off her shoes and just sit on the sofa, light the fire, and relax.
Our final expert is James Charles of James Charles Design. James is recognized for creating elegant, contemporary interiors and exteriors around the world.
My philosophy is really to use what clients have accumulated over a period of time, not only in the sense of belongings, but also their sense of style. With Heidi's situation, it is allowing me to be a little bit more creative and a little bit more sophisticated in design. This room should have a new character to it.
Will our designers give Heidi a functional kitchen that complements her redesigned family room?
I chose red because I know you like red.
You mentioned the word Tuscany to me, and that was the whole beginning of setting me off as far as colors.
I want to thank you for being so wonderful in knowing what you don't like. It makes life a lot easier for a designer.
Stay tuned as our experts present their visions when Designer's Challenge returns. Welcome back to Designer's Challenge. Heidi has challenged our designers to update her kitchen and family room. In meeting with Heidi, our experts began work on design plans. Now they're ready to present their ideas for the first time. Kicking things off is designer Adriel Cogdell, who integrates the family room and kitchen by removing barriers and adding color.
Because you like the openness and the spaciousness of the room, I decided to enhance that by making it one big functional space. When I moved the washer and dryer into the garage, I took out all of the face frames for the closet and the wet bar and put in its place a long desk that tapers off, which gives you a nice graceful entrance into the room. Now you have a pantry, because a closet will now open from the kitchen side. Your stovetop will remain in the same place, your sink stays in the same place, but I took your peninsula off and made it into an island.
What about the bar stools?
3 bar stools here with cushions on top.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we can make that either the same fabric as your window treatments or something different. I reversed your ovens in your refrigerator for a little bit more convenience. The cabinetry I chose is a maple. It has enough contrast in it to make it interesting. The granite is dark, but it has a lot of blue in it. And to help reflect that blue, I chose a blue tile as the backsplash.
Very cool.
I'm also going to raise the ceiling height in this area and put recessed lighting in. If you go into the family room area now, you have a sectional sofa here that we're going to have custom made for you.
Adrian would upholster the sofa in a multicolored fabric and opts for accents in red and blue.
I'm suggesting a round coffee table and a round area rug. The second goal was to refocus the focal point to the fireplace wall. I closed off the window and I built this whole wall in. This area right here is a ledge, and it creates a little extra seating for you when you have guests.
What are the materials that are going to be used on the fireplace?
Oh, sure. The fireplace is the same tile that we're using in the kitchen.
A built-in would hold the TV and Heidi's books.
And I wanted to give you a big splash of color. So we have the darker blue on the walls, the medium color for the ceiling, and the lighter color for the trim.
For contrast, the built-ins would be washed with an antique white. French doors add to the open feel of the room.
For the window treatments, I chose something with a nice, broad, bright pattern, sort of bringing some of that gardening inside.
You've obviously put a lot of hours into making a beautiful design. It's gorgeous.
It was my pleasure.
Next up, Leslie Harris presents a warm Tuscan-flavored design inspired by Heidi's love of red.
This has been great fun putting this together. Basically, I've focused everything onto the fireplace and the television area. This will be a wood fireplace that's painted white, that's angled down. We'll then do the surround and the hearth in a natural light color limestone. I've custom designed an L-shaped sofa that we will do in this wonderful deep Italian red, and then we've got one extra chair over here. For an entertainment area, I've come up with this design here.
You have a cute coffee table here.
You can have it as a full circle, and then you can pull it apart and change the shape.
I really like that.
A contemporary rug in rich hues of red and yellow would lie beneath it.
And then in the corner, I've got a table with a glass top. We'll be painting the walls a light color that's beige. I want to keep your existing shutters because I thought they were great, even though we'll put in some new French doors and new windows into your kitchen area. We'll have a little desk for you with a leather chair and a wonderful Tuscany brown. Going into the kitchen area, the plan is to give you all upper cabinets that will be framed in maple, and then we'll have clear glass, and all the lower cabinets will be solid maple. and this is my favorite word, I'd like to use Ubatuba granite, and then play with these wonderful glass tiles.
I love those.
And these are all
Great
just
colors.
great Italian colors. What I'd like to do is to have mostly this deeper green be the field color, and then have just a few little touches of color that pops through in the other glass. In the kitchen, what I want to do is just tone down the color of the family room a little bit, just 1 or 2 tones. And then to do some really fun little hanging lights right over your eating area.
Leslie, tell me a little bit about what you have for the window covering in the kitchen.
They're almost like paper screens that will lift up and come down. They'll still let the light in.
I love the colors, the openness, the creative furniture.
Thank you for the opportunity. This has been really a lot of fun.
Our final design comes from James Charles, who uses rattan and glass to give the room his signature soft contemporary look.
What we've been able to do is create many more focal points within the same space without really creating too much structural difference. What I've been able to do is put French doors here and then relocate the existing window and add an additional one. So when you walk into the room, you've now created a much more open feel here.
A glass-top wood and rattan table will give Heidi a spot for casual meals. James also proposes converting the existing closet to a pantry and moving the alcove wall back to make room for a rattan desk.
The desk chair that we have will actually be the same chair as what we have around the kitchen table. The sectional is going to wrap around, and this end piece is going to actually be open, almost like a chaise lounge. The body of the sectional is actually going to be a solid, and this will be the seat cushions and the rest cushions.
I like that.
I've also put an ottoman here and actually increased your seating by about 2 to 3 people. In the center here, I have the coffee table. That's going to be a combination of rattan and wood. I have put a corner wall unit. This will house your TV and your entertainment equipment. I've also altered your fireplace. By bringing it down, it's still a focal point, but it's not the main focal point on that wall.
What are you going to use to do the fireplace?
We're going to use a very light sandstone. The mantle itself is going to be out of wood. These are going to be fixed Roman blinds, and on this area, we're going to have the shears. It'll give you this nice soft feeling of dressing the windows, but you're really never going to close the natural light. What I'm suggesting, Heidi, for the corners and the ceiling area is we're going to put some crown molding. It actually helps create more dimension for the room.
James would add the recessed lights Heidi requested and a floor lamp for reading. An area rug under the sectional and artwork above the fireplace complete the look.
I'd like to move on to the kitchen area. Originally, you had a peninsula. I've removed that and supplemented it with an island, which actually is going to be on wheels. So you can be able to move this at will. I've actually made the counter a little bit longer. In doing so, I have been able to center the sink. Add another bank of drawers. I've taken the wood grain look away, and we're going to have a painted finish. This is the style of the door I'm suggesting.